What's up, YouTube family? I'm back at the drawing table. Welcome to my channel, and for those who've been here before, welcome back. Today, I want to talk about shifting your focus when it comes to drawing. As an artist, or as humans, for the fact of the matter, we tend to put the better part of our focus on things we cannot control. As a result of focusing on what we cannot control, we let the things we can control fall by the wayside. It's a trippy thing when you think about it. When we focus too hard on the outcomes of something, the desired outcome tends to elude us. Now, I know that you are wondering why this happens. So let's get into it and break it down. Let's first talk about why too much focus on outcomes is a trap. I like to call hyperfocus on outcomes SOS, also known as shiny object syndrome. Let's start by defining shiny object syndrome. SOS is a psychological tendency to be distracted by new and exciting ideas or opportunities, often at the expense of current tasks and goals. It can lead to scattered focus, unfinished projects, and a lack of progress towards goals. Does that sound like any of you? Focusing on outcomes can lead to scattered focus, defeating the whole purpose of focusing in the first place. So, how can we solve this problem? Before we attempt to solve this problem, let's first take a step back and evaluate how shiny object syndrome is manifested in artists. The biggest hurdle SOS creates in artists is them trying to achieve high level results before they have developed the skills needed to do so. They often will struggle, and at times they will be somewhat successful at mimicking some desired outcomes and fool some people, but they will still not possess the skills necessary to get those same outcomes on a consistent basis. I'm not saying that you should not have any focus on outcomes, results, outputs, or whatever you want to call them. What I am saying is you should reevaluate your views about outcomes. Why, you ask? Well, you can't control outcomes. You can only influence them. Okay, now you are wondering what that means. Well, outcomes can be influenced by your inputs. Your inputs can be controlled by you. Most of us have heard the saying, garbage in, garbage out, which means if all your inputs are of low quality, you will get low quality outputs. The opposite of this is quality in, quality out. So, by shifting your focus from getting quality results to focusing on quality inputs, we gain a higher likelihood of getting better outcomes. So, how do we fix this problem? Well, it's a long answer. First, you have to learn to manage your focus on outcomes, aka SOS, aka shiny object syndrome. Then we have to figure out all the quality inputs needed in order to attain the shiny object in a healthy, sustainable way. Let's tackle shiny object syndrome first. I wouldn't say SOS is all bad. This shiny object syndrome can be a great motivator if used properly. So, how it should work is you see the shiny object, in our case, whatever art goal you want to achieve, that shiny object motivates you to do the things needed in order to obtain it. So you kind of need the syndrome to a degree to help drive you to do the things you need to get done. Let's put this in an example. You just got serious about lifting weights and you want to be able to bench 300 pounds. You would not go to the gym and rack 300 pounds and try to lift it every day until you could. Now, this approach might work for a very small amount of people, but it is highly unlikely this method would get you to your goal. And if you do reach your goal with this method, it would be much harder because you would have to struggle every day until you reached your goal. A better approach would be to focus on proper form and lift what you can today until you get stronger. Then add more weights and keep progressing that way in a rinse and repeat manner until you reach your goal. We can apply this to our drawing. It's a progression. If we try to draw the shiny objects too soon, they can stunt our growth. So we must embrace the process of developing the skills needed to achieve the desired outcome. Now, we also can use the shiny object as a measuring stick to test our progress from time to time. So you can check to see if you're getting closer by comparing what you did in the past and what you are doing today to where you are trying to go. If you take this path, you are likely to have that shiny object much sooner than expected and be on your way to the next one. Next is figuring out all the necessary inputs needed based on the style and type of work you are trying to produce. You will have to learn to love the process of developing skills. It will be a struggle at first, but once the new skills start to unlock your mind, you will wish you had done this years ago. So, if you wanted to draw comic books, you would work on developing skills that closely align with that practice, such as learning action poses, inking, composition, drawing the figure in perspective, etc., for the fastest path to that goal. You will have to become hyper focused on the development of the skills needed more than the shiny object itself. So, to recap, don't fall into the shiny object trap. Use the shiny objects as motivation to develop the necessary skills. Focus more on quality inputs so that they may positively influence your outcomes. Learn to enjoy the process of skill development. Now, if you don't know where to start with skill development, most of these problems can be fixed by gaining a deep understanding of the fundamentals: composition, form, color, value, perspective, proportion, line quality, anatomy, values, and shading. All are good starting points to help you build a strong foundation. That's all I have for you today. In the comments, let me know if you struggle or have struggled with shiny object syndrome, and if you have conquered it, how so? I hope you received some value from this video, and if so, hit the like button, subscribe. It would really help me bring more videos like this to you. I'm glad to be in your service, and as always, peace.